Well, the NYPD is busy arresting Jewish people for daring to protest their religious discrimination from the city. We have Rick Moranis getting attacked. We have a woman being assaulted by a guy who got out of prison. And we have a renowned jazz pianist might never play again. Why? Crime. The Jewish community is protesting in New York over these lockdown measures because they're specifically targeting the Jewish community. Of all the hotspots, it would seem that the governor and the mayor are targeting the Orthodox Jewish community more so. In a letter I was reading recently from Ron Coleman, a lawyer, he basically says, you've got all these hotspots, but the lockdown measures are on more so the Jewish community than the rest of these, basically showing this bias. And what do we get? I couldn't believe it when I saw this story. I might never play again. Renowned Japanese jazz pianist Tadataka Unno is robbed of his ability to play after being beaten up by teens at Harlem subway station. Tadataka Unno, 40, was exiting a New York City subway station when he was set upon. They say he may never be able to play again, was exiting the West 135th Street, St. Nicholas Avenue subway on September 27th when suspects blocked the turnstiles and confronted him. The musician attempted to walk around the group, but was yelled at and pushed from behind. He was eventually punched in the face and body. According to a GoFundMe page set up on behalf of Unno by his friend Jerome Jennings, the assailants broke his right collarbone and bruised his head and body. Wow. According to Unno's wife, racial slurs were also yelled during the attack. But police say no anti-Asian remarks were indicated in the report, but the investigation is ongoing. Unno was rushed to Harlem Hospital where he underwent surgery on his shoulder. I had no idea why I was shoved. One of them pointed at me and said, this guy just pushed me to her peers. That was not true. One of the others said she's pregnant, as if to imply that I just attacked a pregnant person. Unno said I might never play again. The trauma, both physical and mental, are severe, and I have no timeline for a full recovery. Unno said he is completely unable to use his right arm following the attack. Jennings, an instructor at the Juilliard School and a good friend of Unno, says he is now suffering mentally and physically and is unable to play his instrument, which is his sole income. He's going to need some type of cushion to not worry about it, the medical bills, and he's going to need therapy, Jennings told CBS Local. On the GoFundMe page, he writes, my name's Jerome Jennings, and I am a drummer, educator, and band leader based out of Montclair, New Jersey. This is a guy. He got attacked. I first met Tada in Japan, and have known him and his wife for over 15 years. We have played together all over the world. We are both friends and colleagues. I have known Tada to be one of the kindest and gentlest souls. 4 months ago, Tada and his wife Sayaka welcomed a new baby into the world. Your donations will go towards emergency medical bills, physical therapy, rent, utilities, groceries, mental health support, taxis, moving expenses, in order to move to a neighborhood where they feel safer. Move out of New York, man. Here's a tweet from Scott M. Stringer. He says, this is horrific and absolutely no place in New York City. We can't tolerate acts of hate, and we must fight bigotry on all fronts. My thoughts are with Tadataka Unno and his family as he recovers. Wow. I seem to recall talking about how crime is getting worse in New York City. Lethal crime for the most part. Certain crimes are going down. And now we can see stories like this. And this was a viral meme. Rick Moranis, victim of unprovoked attack caught on camera in Manhattan. Why? Why is this happening? Pathetic leadership. I guess AOC wants to imply that many of these people just need bread for their homes, but they're just punching people and beating people. Why is this happening? I don't know, man. But I think New York is in serious trouble. I was talking about it earlier. This guy did a video from like the Upper West Side where he's filming himself saying, oh, New York's so bad. Oh, no, what do I do? Look, people are eating ice cream and having dinner. Don't watch Fox News. Remember that video? That sickens me. This guy might never play piano again. They busted up his arm. That's horrifying. And for what? For what reason? Remember the story of the young woman who was she was going to college and some like 13-year-olds killed her? She was stabbed several times. Why? What's happening in New York? Why is it turning back into like the 70s or 80s or whatever? They dealt with crime, but they elected this Bill de Blasio and things have just fallen apart. I was talking to somebody recently who lives in California, moderate individual, saying Newsom has just burned the state to the ground. When will these people learn You can't, you've got to break the cycle. You can't just keep voting for these people. Now, you had an independent mayor of New York. You had, I think Giuliani was a Republican mayor of New York. That to me is really interesting that New York would elect a Republican, you know? Could that even happen today? They elect Bill de Blasio. They elect Cuomo as governor. And this is the kind of stuff we get. This story's from the 3rd. NYPD confirms actor Rick Moranis was at random attack. Police said it happened in broad daylight just before 7:30 a.m. at Central Park West. Surveillance cameras captured the attack on a 67-year-old Honey, I Shrunk the Kids and Ghostbusters actor. Video shows the suspect ironically wearing an I Love New York sweatshirt walk up and punch Moranis in the head, knocking him to the ground. Police said Moranis went to the hospital with pain in his head, back, and hip. He later walked to the precinct to report the crime. The NYPD's new Community Affairs Rapid Response Team checked on Moranis, as it does with many victims of violent crimes, to offer support, groceries, or anything they may need. He's doing well. He's strong. He's recovering. He has some injuries on his left side. He just wants to stay home. He just wants to recover, and he just wants peace of mind. Meantime, the search continues for the suspect. Police are asking the public to be on the lookout. Here's another. Wow. I don't even want to play this video. NYPD hunts predator who assaulted a woman 20 in Manhattan's West Village at 2:30 a.m. and told her, "I have a gun," and just got out of jail. The 20-year-old woman was walking near the intersection of Barrow and Greenwich around 2:30 a.m. on Sunday when a stranger accosted her from behind. According to the NYPD, the man pushed the victim to the ground. The woman was alone after walking a friend to a bus station several blocks away. It's time to leave the cities. It's time to recognize what they've become. And it's time to point the finger at the people who have led these cities to become this bad. Portland, riots. Minneapolis, defunded police. NYPD, defunded. DAs in Fort Worth, New York, Chicago, Portland, cutting loose rioters. Crime on the rise across the board. And it's in Democrat-run cities. That's why it's crazy to me when I see people moving to Texas. You know, they say that people from California are moving to Texas, bringing their policies with them, and it's going to result in Texas being a swing state. I'm not going to play that. I'm not going to play that game. I'm not bringing my policies with me. Nah. Look, there's a lot of things I believe that clash with conservatives, but I'm willing to sit back and wait and kind of test the waters before enacting any kind of far-reaching or crazy policy change. De Blasio, these DAs. They claim that they're progressive and so they're going to make a change. They want to change the criminal justice system, but they do it with a sledgehammer instead of a fly swatter. What they're doing is making everything worse. You got a bug around your house, or you're swinging a sledgehammer, smashing everything up. Crime is skyrocketing. And instead, they talk about reducing the police's budget. Like, how does this make sense? And what is their real goal? When you see when you look at what we've seen so far, with the mass rioting for over 130 days, with the escalation of lethal force, with random people being attacked. This Japanese pianist, why was he attacked? We have no idea. He wasn't robbed. They just attacked him. Rick Moranis, why was he attacked? We have no idea. They just attacked him. It's random. There's no reason. There's no anger. It's just people want to hurt someone they hate, I guess. These cities are it's kind of sad to see, man. But I'm glad I got out of New York when I did. Because I lived on that street where they killed those two cops, the black nationalists. Now we get the hard results from Democrat policy. But you need to understand a lot of this probably stems from the COVID lockdowns. People lost their jobs. People got angry. They looted. They rioted. The police lost their budget. The city is strained for cash. They've lost their tax base. I got to say it. It's only going to escalate from here in terms of the chaos, the tension, the violence. Now, look, I highlighted 3 stories for you from New York. 3 out of what? 10 million people who are still there. So sure, these stories just make it seem like things are really bad. Maybe they're not really bad. And maybe that's the important thing. But I got to tell you, man, seeing that people have left, the businesses have been boarded up, 12,000 stores are closed, moving vehicles are everywhere, and people are fleeing the city. It really does seem intentional. I mean, why are these stories popping up? Why are these attacks happening? Why is the city enforcing a new lockdown? Why are they doing any of it? It seems intentional. Like I was saying this in my main channel segment, like the Democrats are trying to lose, but make it seem like they want to win. They don't really. They put up checkpoints at the tunnels and the bridges. That keeps tourists out, so they'll make no tourism revenue. Then they're chasing businesses away. They're shutting them down. That takes away their business revenue. They put homeless people and predators near luxury condos and buildings, chasing the rich people out. It's on purpose, isn't it? They're destroying New York City on purpose. Or they're just that insane. They're just so bad at what they do. I hope you people who live in New York City are going to vote out these lunatics and make a real change. I look at the polling, though, and I'm not too confident. It is worrisome to see that you have this polling advantage for Joe Biden. I think we're going to be in big trouble if the Democrats sweep. I'll see you all tomorrow at 10 a.m. Thanks for hanging out.